Hello and welcome everyone. Hope you are doing very well. Today we're gonna have, or I guess it's better to say, we're gonna try to have a short and concise discussion regarding the Rhino.Inside plugin. Now, similar to some other plugins, first off, you need to download and install this one as well. And there are a couple of ways for doing so. Like, as for one thing, you can simply use Foot for Rhino, and as for another, you can use the website Rhino3D.com. Anyway, after the installation process in Revit, you'll be getting a new tab called Rhino Inside, talking about this one. Now here first we need to hit start, and then after that we can click on Rhino. And just like this, we'll have access to Rhino's workspace, as you can see. Now, at the moment, guys, I have Revit on the left, Rhino on the right, and I'm also going to open up Grasshopper as well. As for another thing, guys, I'll be using some items and I want you to see their exact names. I want you to be completely informed regarding the whole thing. So I'll be using this plugin called Bifocal. I'm going to activate Bifocals. Then next up, somehow we need to make sure that our drawings would also be displayed in Revit. For that, we can set the sketches in Rhino, enter them in Grasshopper in order to transfer them in Revit. You know what, guys, let's just do something easier. For our current example, I'm just going to stick with using Grasshopper only. Alright, then let's begin our work, and I'm actually going to start with a polygon. There we go. Now, before specifying the size, guys, as you can see, immediately after setting the polygon in Grasshopper, it's also being displayed in Revit. Now, as for the sides, I'm actually going to go with a range, like I'm going to limit them to somewhere in between 3 to 8. Just for now, though, guys, I mean, this is easily controllable, so we can change the segments. As for another thing, let's say we also want to control the fillet radius, so I'm going to connect this to the FR and then control the fillet on the corners like this. I'm going to use another number slider, this time for controlling the radius itself, like 12, for example. Larger or smaller. Basically, we are free to choose here. Now, about my main goal, guys, I want to have a controllable reproduction of this form within multiple levels. I also want to control the number of levels, and I want to be able to scale and rotate this form as well. So, the first command that I need for this whole process would be move the Z course with a specific number. Oh, let me specify my unit system in Revit. I'm going with meters. Exactly the same as Rhino. Good. Next up, I need the series item. For the elevation difference, for the levels, or in between the levels, give me 4 meters. And how many levels? Give me like 16. You know what, I'm going to go with more, but before that, I'm actually going to increase the radius as well. And more levels. Next command that I'll be using would be area. I'm going to work on the scaling thing that I told you about. Like, I'd say I want the forms to be scaled from their center points. So in fact, I need the geometry's center points then. How am I scaling? Well, that's another story actually. Like, we can try scaling them randomly, or we can apply some sort of an enlargement, like both from bottom to top or top to bottom. Well, you know what? Long story short, there are multiple methods, multiple ways that we can go with. I'm going to go with the whole random thing. Yeah, give me the random command then. Now, the number of items here should be exactly the same as the number of our geometrical forms. And what I'm going to do here would be using this item called less length. I'm going to use less length as some sort of a filter in between these two guys. And I could have just simply checked the number down here. But through less length, I can just do this whole thing quite more automatically, you can say. But again, we can always connect the count to the number. Next item that I'm going to use is construct domain. I'm going to specify a range here, guys. And for that, I need a couple more number sliders. Give me from 0.5, for example, to 0.9. Now first, I'm going to move these 3 down here. And then I'm going to create a connection in between random and factor. Alright, so let me hide the first item, and as you can see guys, all of our geometrical forms are randomly scaled now. And oh, by the way guys, down here by changing, or I guess it's better to say by controlling the seed, we would be able to check the various alternatives for the whole scaling thing. Next up, I need rotate. Now again, I'm going to connect the form center points to P here, and then I'm going to do a right click on A as an angle, select degree. Basically, I want these to be rotated by some degree, even a specific angle, a specific degree. Honestly, this is not really that common, so let's just do, let's just go with a random kind of rotation as well. Now, previously here we had series, right? And we had 4 units by 4 units, or 4 meters by 4 meters, more precisely. I can add a panel to this, or connect a panel to this, and, well, get something like this, see? I'm going to multiply this number by some number like 14, as in 14 degrees. Alright, you know what, maybe reducing this though, like all the way to 2. Is it good? Yeah, I guess so. Can I try something else for a second? Let me connect this directly to the rotation angle. Yeah, you know what? This works even better. It's more simple. So just going to remove the whole multiple thing. Oh, well, we can always control the whole alternatives for both randomness and rotation. Alright guys, from this moment on, you need to pay attention a little bit more. I'm going to remove the levels that we got in Revit. What I'm basically aiming for here, guys, is recreating the levels in Revit using these numbers, these elevation codes. I need 2 more items, or commands, whatever you want to call them. Add floors and add levels. Let's work on the levels first. I'm going to connect the series to elevations here. Then I need to specify the name. And for that, I'm actually going to use the division code. Series divided by 4. Give me the name in this case. The names. So here we got level 0, 1, 2, 3, and the rest. Now for the floors, guys, I'm actually going to use these geometries. And what I'm hoping to get out of these would be the boundaries. Or even to be more exact, the boundary lines for the floors. The floors boundary lines within these levels. And within type, I'm going to test the model. Alright, so we shouldn't be getting this red color. Let me see how exactly I can modify this. Let me check the levels here. Right click. We'll select graph. Okay, one more time. And yeah, here we go. Now we got the floors as well. And to be informed about the floors types, we need to do a right click on this T here. And then check or even specify the type that we want or we have in mind for the floors. Next up, we need some sort of a body, a cover, shelf, whatever you want to call it, for these forms. So I'm using the loft command then, and connect the geometry to the loft. And then afterwards, we can use some more items from another plugin called the Launchbox. And as for the items, help out the diamond panels. Or even one of these triangular panels, guys. Yeah, like triangular panels type A. I'm going to connect these two first. Okay, let me just hide this for now. And then I'm going to increase the number of panels on both U and V courses. And yeah, this will be the result, guys. We got all of these panels now. Alright, then let's see what else we can do. Like for the scale, I'll try changing the C to this. Yeah, this works. Yeah, we got all of these panels in the loft, and as for another thing that might work, I'll try applying a small offset for the floor's boundaries. There are a couple of ways for this. I can use either offset curve or scale. For the offset curve, guys, I'm going to set the distance on -x and value on 1.23, for example. How it goes? Is that working? Want this to be set interiorly. Reducing this a bit more. Basically, I just want to have a bit of gap in between the loft and the panels. And the floors. I'm going to connect this to the boundary. So it went inside then. Now we can control the distance here. Okay, it's getting a bit crowded here. Let me put some distance in between everything. So basically, as you can see, we are able to use some panels as well, and I went with this one. So far, so good. Now, about these triangular panels, let me try another one, maybe type B this time. I mean, let's see which one works the best. I mean, type B might work also. You know what? I guess B is actually better. Yeah, let's go with B. Anyway, what I want to do here is adding some sections on these triangular panels, and better yet, not simple ones, glass panels. So I need to enter a family template then, guys. I'm going with metric generic model adaptive. We're dealing with a triangular form again. Let me just minimize this for now. You can see the model in Rhino as well. I'm going to begin with adding 3 points, or, setting 3 points. Select, make adaptive, select again. We'll be using these for setting the required lines. Speed line, 2 points is an item that I'm going to use. Okay, let me select the points 2 by 2. Yeah, like this. Now, I'm going to add another point on this line. Then, draw on face. Click on the line. Set. And I'm going to go with a rectangle. Yeah, a rectangle that I'm going to set inwards. Now, select. And create form. To get something like this. Then I'm going to use save as because I'm going to give this a name. So an example, adaptive 1. Okay, now let's load this in. Now, let me do something else. Back to Grasshopper. Now, up here from Revit, Components, I'm going to select Add Component Adaptive. And then, am I doing this correctly though? Yeah, I guess so. I want these points, so what I'm going to do would be using this item called Deconstruct Brep. I'm basically going to use this item to deconstruct the panels, to somehow extract the points. Then I'm going to do a right click on the type. I'm try finding and selecting the family that we just created, adaptive 1. Select. And now that I think about it, I shouldn't have gone with these many levels and floors, because now this process might actually take a while to be done. And you know what? If you want to do this in the first place for yourselves, and if you want to do it faster, go with less levels and floors. And after you're done with this process, I'm talking about adding the sections, you can control the number of levels and floors as you know. And well, other aspects too. I'm talking about the whole scale, rotate, the radius, and everything that we applied so far. Anyway, for now, we just have to wait for this process to be done. And again, it's taken a while because we have so many levels, floors, and panels. Panels actually are a factor here. All right, this is it. And as for another thing that we can do, back in Revit, we can select these and try adding or setting a glass panel on them. You know how this process exactly goes, guys. You just need to give this a material. You just need to define the material parameter and then go with the material that you have in mind. It could be anything. I'm just mentioning glass as an example. Anyway, guys, I guess we actually got the main point, though. Well, the main point would be how to create a completely graphic model in Grasshopper and then transfer it successfully and completely into Revit. And as for other collaboration perks in between these two softwares, when, for example, when controlling the number of seeds from Grasshopper, simultaneously we can see the effects in Revit. And well, let me just lock this for a second because I don't want Revit to froze or anything. I mean, while I'm applying these changes, like I want to have 12 levels with this random thing, as well as rotate. Then maybe less panels. Yeah. Now unlock and apply the whole thing or everything at once. Remember, guys, this might actually be another process that needs a bit time to be done completely. But we just have to give it the time that it needs. You know what, guys? Let me put it simply. Do not do anything while this process is going on. Otherwise, your software crashes. Or at least it might. All right, done and done. All right, should we apply more changes now? Like, for one thing, we can get rid of the whole randomization thing. Okay, guys, what I did was disabling the loft. Because I wanted to, kind of wanted to work a bit faster. And then I'm going to increase the number of levels. And then, as I said, I don't want the random design anymore. Now, take a look at this, guys. Here we already have series, right? What I'm going to do or use would be, for example, remap numbers, okay? Because I don't want to generate any new numbers. Now, I want the range to be specified using or through bounds. Then I need a graph mapper. And then I need a connection to this. You know what, let me remove these for a second. These ones I need. Give me another remap number. I'm going to connect everything to this one. And then I'm going to connect this to the scale. Then I can change the type, guys. For example, give me Bezier. See? And you know what? Give me shaded for the display mode to see this better. Now I can try controlling the form here. Maybe like adding a bit more curvature to this. Yeah, I guess this will do. Good. And after this, maybe reducing the levels to 22. Okay, maybe a bit more though. 26. Yeah, not bad. Then again, I can work on the loft. I mean, more precisely, I can enable that once more. What happened? Okay, I guess we just need to wait for this to be done again. All right, here we go. That's it. Once again, remember guys, we can always apply further modifications on this. Like for example, we can control the number of segments, the radius, fillet radius for the corners, the step or the level difference, the number of levels themselves, also the scaling process. Then what else? The offset, the gap in between the loft and the floors. Let me see what else we got here. The panels, guys, the number of panels, we can control them as well. And basically what I'm trying to say is that we have a full control on everything. And we can always continue our work in Revit, guys. So it's better to say we can always continue working on the created items in Revit. To give you a demonstration on this, I can select something here, then unpin it. Then, for example, change up the type. And as for another thing, from view, floor plans, I'm going to select all the levels and add them to our project browser. Just to get them as a list of levels in project browser. Yeah, simply done, guys. All right, then, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed our today's episode. Until next time, do not forget to practice. Goodbye and good luck.